So I was lucky enough to play with the lead developers of Civilization Beyond Earth, and it was really cool because I went through the first 40 turns and I got to ask them personal questions about how they would go about certain situations, what certain tactics and strategies that they have for early game. So I'm here with the developers, Will and Dave. Will, you set this game up? Can you tell us? I don't know what I'm jumping into here. What are we looking at here?
Sure. Well, we're looking at the primordial biome first of all, and I've got you playing the newest leader that we've announced, Elena of Integer, the German leader.
I've heard of him. That's. I thank you guys again for that.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
As we were saying before the show, that was completely coincidental. The likeness, the resemblance to you.
Yeah, I know. I was very happy. I was like, that's perfect.
Right.
If I had a twin sister, this would be it.
This would be it.
Definitely it.
So we've got you started off here. I've set up some the loadout options I picked were sort of growth oriented or production oriented. So you're gonna have some additional production soldier there, and we'll see what there is to see. I think we're playing a continents map. So
okay. So this should be good. I don't even know if I did. This seems like a tough spot because I'm out here. Kind of off the continent, it looks like. Hold on, let me bring up this yield. Dave, do you have any suggestions? Because I'm kind of in a tough spot. I mean,
I don't know.
There are some.
It's not as bad as I would think. Like part of the thing you got to start thinking about is like that water is an asset.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The city's going to absorb all the water around it. There's some pretty good resources out there, and there's they're not any harder to improve than any of the ones on land.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, you got your explorer. Which likewise is amphibious right away. So I would say start looking around the oceans, around this little inlet that you're in here. Maybe this is actually setting you up really well to play an aquatic focus this game.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I noticed from the little piece that I got to play so far of Rising Tide was that it's so important to explore. Like it is so incredibly important to explore. Okay, now I finally have you guys here. What do you guys think that is the best route through the tech web? Because man, I still haven't figured it out.
Yeah, we get asked that a lot, and actually that's exactly what we want to hear.
Yeah,
you still haven't figured it out. That's good. That's a good thing.
I can't figure it out.
We never want there to be a golden path through this thing. So no build order or whatever. I'm sure our fans are very smart. I'm sure they will find some optimal way through this thing. But the design intent is that every decision you make is circumstantial. It's just a strategic choice. So David and I like to play growth heavy civs at the beginning to establish foundation. But it's really up to you. I mean, the affinities, as you've probably noticed, have been redistributed. Affinity points throughout the tech web, so you're a little bit more. You're freer to pick the techs that you want that suit the particular situation you're in. And the hybrid affinities also sort of let you naturally fall into an army composition, an upgrade path that's going to be sweet no matter what you pick.
Yeah. Well, I still don't know what to pick here, so I'm just gonna. I know that I don't think I need health right now, so I'll probably do something. I think I do like going physics because
physics is good. Chemistry is also good. You get submarines with chemistry.
That is pretty good. Maybe I should do that because submarines are fun. Well, there we go. Okay, let's do it. Sure. Okay, let's try that, and then I don't think we have to. Oh, we found a few resource pods already. Oh, that's nice. Did it seems like there's. Is there more room? I feel like I'm noticing more.
I think I selected retrograde thrusters for you.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
You see a
little bit
wider,
more? Yeah, because I'm like, wow, this is a lot. This is nice. This is perfect because I do have that Explorer out, so you can go find those things. I probably should have checked where those resource pods were first. All right, let's go get this. And how many other? Oh, wait, I didn't even ask you what difficulty level are we playing on, Will?
I think we're playing on Mercury difficulty.
Okay.
So it should.
Okay.
We're
fantastic.
Playing a quick game
That's
too,
great.
So,
yeah.
It'll go at a pretty brisk clip here.
Okay. We'll see. We already have that there. So as this new faction, what would you suggest strategy wise, both you guys as me? Like how should I play as myself? Like what would you suggest strategy wise?
Well, Drew, we know you're a wheeler and dealer.
Yeah.
The diplomatic angle is Lena's specialty. So
okay, so her
special trait, her character trait is that all diplomatic agreements cost half as much political capital. Political capital being the new currency for the diplomacy system, which we're going to see here in a little bit. So as soon as you start to find other civilizations on the map, as soon as sponsors start to land, you can engage in diplomacy with them right away.
Oh, very cool. So we gotta. So and that the nice thing is because we get notified right when other civs land, so we don't have to go out and look for them.
Well, actually,
or anything?
one of the differences in the expansion is that you know when and where a new civ lands, but not who they are. You actually have to drive out to meet them, so it encourages you to explore a little bit more in the beginning of the game there.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. Okay, very cool. Whoops, I got in here accidentally. I had no idea. That was a change that I didn't pick up on. I love that.
It's kind of a cross between the way Civ 5 did it and the way Beyond Earth did it. Which I think is good. You gotta be careful. This guy.
Yeah, I know that thing is huge.
Is
that's one of those the new?
It's an amphibious unit.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, it's gonna be able to come on land, right?
Right.
Oh, I figured. Yep, you can kind of tell visually. It's gonna come after you, no matter where you're at.
It's the most terrifying army crawl
you've ever seen. Oh yeah, I just saw it right there. Okay, I haven't had any experience with this new alien unit, so I don't know how well it's gonna go. What is this? This looks very familiar.
Couple of derelict settlements.
I can go and explore that, or I can go and land on that, right?
Well,
or
you need an explorer to excavate and get.
Oh, okay. I need to excavate. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. So your Marines are good, fine explorers, but they're mostly just uncovering the map at this point. That explorer he's actually in a pretty good spot for all these expedition sites around. He can hop back and forth.
Yeah.
With the city.
Because we are surrounded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, they can go into water right away. The explorers can. So there's plenty of expedition sites and goodies in the water that you can pick up as well as on land.
Our soldier can too, right? Because we did. Yeah. They
can embark, but the soldier when they're on the water, they're in an embarked state. They're very vulnerable. But the explorer is an explorer that's amphibious. There's a difference.
Oh, I get you. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. I did notice that, and something that I didn't pick up on, is that these resource pods are now out in the ocean.
Yep.
That is cool. That is very cool.
I think you'll notice that the overall density of goodies is higher in the expansion.
Oh, good.
So the density of resource pods, the density of exploration sites, we've cranked it up. I guess it was a natural thing because we added so much more playable surface to the game.
And I might have made a mistake here. I already started shooting at the aliens, so that might have been a mistake. Okay, so I got to ask Will about the tech web. Now, David, what do you think virtue-wise I should go with, especially playing as the new faction? Like, diplomatically, there's really no set category, you know what I mean, that I should go after.
No, it's still a really good opportunity for you to go for the playstyle that you like. And
that's really cool, yeah.
Diplomacy is actually a lot like virtues in that it can really solve any number of problems from any perspective, depending on how you prefer to play. So many people prefer prosperity or knowledge because they're solid, powerful opens. Might and industry are a little more specific, like if you're going for a specific early game path.
Yep.
So I really kind of like your starting location militarily because, like for instance, shooting at those aliens. Well, they're water aliens.
Yeah.
And your city's on land, even though it's a small island. So you're really not at a whole lot of danger. Even that big amphibious beast that you saw earlier would need to get a lot angrier before it's going to try to take out the city.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't bother with might, or at least not yet.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Having the city build up faster to take advantage of the water around it would be a good thing. So I would say either prosperity or industry.
Yeah. I was feeling prosperity. I really like initial growth from the very beginning.
It does pay off really well.
Yeah, that is good.
And you'll eventually get a worker, or quickly get a worker out of this, which could be a very big benefit, especially with when you have a territory that's a hybrid water land.
Yep, let's do it. I'm gonna do it. And then eventually, if we continue down that, which a while, we can get that colonist out, which is pretty important. Right. We should probably settle a water city. I'm thinking that next. Clinic, you think?
It's a science strong play, sure.
Yeah, you guys aren't helping me out at all. You're just like, yeah. You guys
that's honestly.
That. Yeah.
I think the strong sort of growth focused open, particularly in the spot you're in right now. It's a good choice.
So with this soldier, because I now that I have you guys here, I just want to ask you your play style. So it's very interesting. With this soldier, I feel like I wouldn't go too far with him. But what would you guys think? Would you continue and have him explore? But with the risk of leaving your soldier way far, away from your city.
I mean,
what do you think?
I think you always want to be ahead of the resource or the goodie curve.
Yeah.
Right, and if you've got, it doesn't matter what unit it is, if you've got them out there popping goodie huts, resource pods, then you're going to be fitting that curve, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So you have an advantage because you get to land first as player 0. You land first.
I should go find that stuff.
And, go gobble them up as quick as you can.
So I would like to get that extra worker. So I'm gonna go after extra culture here. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. I think I will probably be playing pretty risky because I remember how important it is. There are so many resource pods and things to explore, and you can get artifacts and stuff like that. We can already get this guy. That's good. So let's go ahead and grab that. And so the workers can immediately start improving sea tiles, right?
Sure, of course.
They can? That's awesome. Okay.
Right out there.
You did shoot the aliens recently. So.
I did, yeah, you're right. That's a good point. I forgot about that.
So maybe you want to start by improving the land.
Yeah, maybe we should.
The aliens cool off a bit. So, I mean, you have the Resilin right there. You can jump right on.
It's got some miasma on it, though.
Yeah.
The worker will probably survive the build, but if you prefer...
I'm trying not to lose my worker too fast.
All right. I play very close to the edge because I do know the game pretty well.
Oh, okay.
So then a mine, your territory, your little island here is mostly hills, so it would be good for mines, which puts you in an interesting spot because it means you'll really depend on the water for food.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But you do have algae, which is a good food source.
Yeah.
And eggs over there, which is another good food source.
I guess we'll start with mine.
Yeah.
But
building things faster.
I would like a farm as soon as possible. Oh, cool! This is a new window I hadn't seen. So
it's just the Affinity Progress window.
Okay.
A lot of the windows have gotten
that.
new art added to them and some polish. And this is stuff we're going to patch back to the base game as well. So
I love that.
Lots of nice new paintings and things.
Yeah, that's really cool. So we got Purity. Not sure exactly how we got that. Whoops. What did we miss?
You got a resource pod back here.
Oh man, I messed up. Yep.
Right.
I'm too excited here.
You should have seen the games we played in our interviews yesterday. We were trying to talk and play Civ at the same time. It's very hard.
Oh yeah.
So I hope people don't judge us on how good we are.
Oh no. I totally understand. Okay, so did I already accept this upgrade here, or I choose the perk?
Give you your options.
Yeah. Okay, so I can choose between 15% when attacking, and is that 15% and the extra combat?
Yeah, it's lists everything that you would receive.
Okay, I get you. Or I mean, David, you said you play risky, right? It seems like this is more the riskier perk. Kind of, right?
Well, it's more aggressive.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily say I play aggressively.
Okay.
But yeah, for an early upgrade, it's always going to be a benefit to just have more combat strength.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
This is a really interesting choice because upgrading basically your water marine, the patrol boat or the naval melee unit. So it seems like a hard choice between naval melee and naval range. But I almost always go melee only because almost all of the aliens are melee, and so you get the advantage
that's a good
there.
point.
And oftentimes what you're fighting is not people you want to be fighting, but it's accidental combat when the aliens try to jump on you.
Oh, okay.
So having that bonus against melee, because it's not attacking or defending, it's both.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, okay.
I usually prefer melee.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I'm probably going to always go melee now, forever.
Unless you're prosecuting a war against a human player. Right?
Oh, that's a good point.
Then ranged unit is much better because
because
patrol boats are way cheaper than gunboats.
If
your patrol boats could take out their gunboats, you'll have a big advantage.
That's a good point. Okay, I'm not missing any resource. Oh, I guess we go this way.
I would if you're going to go back, I would go by way of the city, and so you could pick up another expedition module.
Yeah, good point.
Where's that at?
So if you drive back to the city,
that's a good point. Oh, we're gonna have to pass by some aliens though. I don't know if they're gonna be.
We'll find out.
I'm not gonna.
You
not
just
gonna make that mistake.
once,
I guess I could.
They'll be okay with
that. I think so. I think I'll let them go this time. I don't think I'll shoot at them. Is there some way I can check on their? Is there more? Because I know that this icon will change colors, right? As they start to make.
Well, no, there's not like a readout or anything where you see exactly how angry they are. You really got to pay attention. But a lot of work has gone into making the aliens' progression more comprehensible, more predictable. So 1 or 2 shots, it wasn't going to be a big deal. And certainly, actually, if you're shooting in defense, like if you shoot the aliens when they're inside your territory or close to your cities, it'll just end up being a less aggressive act because you sort of get spooked away from the area, but don't necessarily hold it against you as if you had shot them like out in the wilderness close to where they live.
Oh, okay. Very
like Will said, one shot a few turns ago probably isn't
it's probably fine.
Anymore.
Yeah. So you just got an artifact here. This is one of the new systems in the expansion, and it's pretty neat. You can, if you research or you find resource pods, or if you dig up artifact sites, you get these objects that you keep in a library, in a collection. You can sort of craft them together to get stuff that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. So if you put one or two of these things together, you may get some yields. If you put 3 of them together, you make it a building or a wonder that you couldn't build otherwise. So
I've noticed I've played. I know this is bad, but whenever I get these, like I want that so bad. Like it gets me so. I won't do it, but whenever I see these artifacts, like, and I see some of the like initial boosts, I know that's the wrong thing to do.
It's not the wrong thing to do.
But
I do that all the time.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay, you do? Okay.
Well, I mean, like if I want to push over a virtue I really want, like a worker one, or a technology that's going to be really critical, I'll definitely burn an artifact or two to speed that up.
That's a good point.
For the sake of your viewers,
should probably not.
Why don't you hold on?
Yeah, okay.
We'll see if we can make a really cool set.
Okay. Oh, one thing that I did want to mention that I always will. So this, what does this bar mean here?
Oh, that's its like quality.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's sort of a when you're cashing in an artifact or making a set, it's a combination of the categories. So this is an old Earth one, and there's aliens and progenitor artifacts as well. And then the sort of the quality of the artifact will tell you how many yields you'll get, or how good of a building or wonder you'll get from it.
Oh, very cool.
So the fact that that's a crummy artifact
is probably like we should save it.
Well, I mean, it's actually makes it more likely to be useful as a set because then you'll still get a really good building or wonder. But if you're looking to just break down an artifact for quick gain, breaking down a high quality one will get you a lot more for the one artifact you lose.
Oh, very interesting. Okay. Well, I guess I'll hold on to it, but I think when I start playing, I feel like that's gonna be like one of the biggest issues is that I'm gonna be just spending them too fast. I think maybe when I get there's certain combos that you want, right?
It's based on the categories, like I said. So 3 of the same kind, 3 old Earth or 3 alien or 3 progenitor will get you a certain category of things, and then the one of each approach will get you different categories of things.
Okay.
So when that can actually really help you make your decision. For instance, if you have a surplus of a type that you aren't planning on using in a set because you don't have enough of the other types or whatever, then those are great opportunities to break them down and get the value out of them right away. Not wait around for some perhaps future date where it could be a set, but use it to power up your civ in the immediate term in a way that you're really going to benefit from for a good long time.
Okay. Okay. I think I'll let the aliens go, but they're starting to really
they have a nest
surround.
Right
that is right. Yeah. So, what would you guys do? Should we destroy it? Should we leave them there? Should we leave them be?
I would definitely leave them alone.
Really?
Well, so think about it. If you have a bee's nest in your backyard, you want to get rid of it, right?
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
So, you don't just, go out and start, trying to swat bees. Because they'll get really mad and come out and hurt you.
Yeah.
So what you do is you prepare. You get all this stuff, and then you go out and you take out the nest in, one big go, minimize your exposure, and then, wait for the storm to die down.
Okay.
So what you're going to want to do is, while you've got virtually no military...
Yeah.
I would not try...
take on...
And the fact that you have to travel by sea to get off your island.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's bad.
I would definitely pretend to be their friend.
Yeah.
For a long time. I mean, you could actually be their friend if you want.
We could.
But at some point, that city's going to grow and it's going to want that territory, and you're going to have to decide whether that nest is in the way or not.
Oh yeah, so I think it will be.
But at that point, I would do things like, I would have a patrol boat to clear it out, and then have a couple rangers or so on the mountains around your city.
Okay.
Because you can shoot those water aliens from the safety of land.
Yeah. And
sort of eliminate the alien threat in your territory in one quick blow.
Yeah.
And then you can just sort of let the opinion cool off.
Yeah.
And
that's a good idea.
It's a controlled strike.
At this point, would you start dipping into another virtue? Another, knowledge, instead of going prosperity initially?
I think I would. I mean, at this point, prosperity is going to start going into city expansion.
Yeah.
Like making outposts, which you're not in a position to do.
Yeah.
So you'd really benefit a lot more by having something else. I would say probably knowledge would be the most beneficial.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, and then we're only a few more turns away from this one.
Yeah, you're going to get that free one here in a minute.
Very nice. Okay, cool. We did quests. I like to... I mean, I feel like I know it's so bad, but I would rather be unhealthy than anything else. I know that health is such a big deal, but it's kind of like one of those things
You're
that...
doing all right, though. You're okay.
I'm doing okay.
You're okay on that.
I know it's one of those things, it's so important, but... Oh, man, it's tough. It's tough to balance because I see some of these other benefits, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to... Health, we don't need health right now. No, I keep wanting to attack there. Okay, so I'm going to try my first farm. This is risky, but I think we'll be okay, right? Okay. Because
you'll be alright.
They'll be just right there. Okay, so now we're good.
Now, Dave, in the base game, there was a difference between taking pot shots with your city and actually attacking with a unit. The alien AI treated those two actions differently. Has that changed?
Yeah, that was part of what I was referring to when I said we made it a little bit easier to predict how the aliens are going to react. There were a bunch of kind of more sophisticated rules, I guess to say unnecessarily complex rules, perhaps, sliding around underneath the scenes that were driving the aliens. And it made for interesting behavior.
Yeah.
But a lot of it went unappreciated. Players couldn't tell what was going on, and so it just left them feeling like just generally suspicious and scared of the aliens.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier to just go all-out war because at least you could predict what would happen.
Yeah.
So we made things a lot more predictable. A shot or two, they'll react as you would expect. A few turns go by, they'll calm down. Doesn't really matter what shoots or where. They do a decent differentiation, more direct differentiation between aggressive attacks, like going out and hunting them, versus shooting them when they get too close to your city or to your improvement. So, in watching players use this, they definitely play a lot more intuitively, and so it's a lot easier to just kind of play against the aliens in a way that makes sense, and they will play back.
That's cool. That's
Plus,
good.
We've given the players a lot more kind of direct tools to make the aliens part of their game in a meaningful way, especially if they play Harmony.
Oh yeah,
we
that's
talk
what I
a lot
that.
about the new alien leash ability.
Yeah, I love that.
Right.
I loved that.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah. So if you got that alien, presence close to your land, now you can start to think about that in a much more tactical fashion. Like, should I go Harmony, absorb those aliens into my territory and make them work for me? Or should I, do what I would normally do and eventually try to eradicate them in order to build human settlements?
Yeah, that's a good point. I've got this expedition site. We should probably be doing a lot more of those.
Start digging it up. Yep.
Yeah. And I just got a virtue. Gives you more science for each one.
You're right on the edge of that. Like you're going to get that double virtue here in a few minutes.
Okay, very cool.
And once that happens, you can do the 2 prosperity virtues to get that colonist and expand.
There we go.
Ready.
Yeah. I would like. Yeah, we should probably do that.
Because you haven't researched, pioneering yet.
Yeah.
So you can't actually get the colonists unless you did it that way.
So I'm glad that we did that. That was my plan. That was exactly my plan the entire time. Okay, I think I'm a huge science guy. Love science. I think we need to go science here. I don't think we're ready. Well, we're gonna definitely plop down to second city when we can, but I should probably be more concerned with health soon here.
Especially if you're going to make another city.
Yeah, that's... Because what's the base value for... Like, how much health does it take away a settling? Because it's just... Is it one health per population, or...
Well, it will count the city twice, both for the number of cities and for the number of people that live there. So
okay.
A brand new city shouldn't take more than 1 or 2.
Okay.
It does also slide based on the number of cities you have. So every additional city
is going to be.
They eventually will start to compound.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Really, you should just give yourself a good cushion when you're making a new city. Try not to have 0.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Less than 3.
And
that's
what's
what I was
really cool
thinking.
is like you get into that hole, that health. You get a health problem once you start expanding, and the diplomacy system is actually a really great way to solve that problem.
Mm-hmm.
Which we're going to see when other players start to land. We can make deals that can fill those holes in our civilization.
Oh yes. Oh, that's true. I do remember the diplomacy is so wide open now. There's just so many new things that you can fix. Kind of like with if you have something wrong with your empire, you can fix it in diplomacy. I really like that there's that new option there. It's really cool. I personally do not like building farms on hill tiles, but
you've got other sources of food.
We kind of we
I think you'd be better off improving that algae down there.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
Yeah, you should jump on that while the
Oh, they're not. Yeah, while the aliens aren't there.
While the aliens aren't standing on it. Right?
Okay, we'll try it.
Hopefully they won't kill you.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So those are your Marines. You're going to go explore a different continent with them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
If you cross the sea there.
Oh, there we go. He's not connected to anyone. That's pretty good, though.
Well, not that you can see.
Yeah, that's true.
They do grow. The hydrocoral grow.
Eventually they...
But they're benign unless you start to attack them. And you don't... Okay, you've got some up there that you have to contend with later.
That's good. That's great.
Expand.
So do they... So I think I wondered that there's... I know that there are like 3 different stages to these hydrocoral. Do they eventually like die? Like the big ones get smaller eventually, right? And then
they don't get smaller, they die.
They just die without even attacking.
Yeah,
right?
they're sort of semi-plant like. So they have a life cycle that goes sort of many turns or several turns in waves. Mm-hmm. And the small ones will grow into medium, which will grow into big. And the big ones will stick around for a while, and eventually their lifetime will be up and they will die. Mm-hmm. So the stands of hydrocoral that you see now will change in shape, but also kind of travel around the ocean as like the old heavy nodes go away and the new ones grow up and so on. So no hydrocoral will just be fixed forever.
Okay. This one just vanished down here.
Well, you're out of...
Is that because
sight.
vision? Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Let's go get this resource. Am I getting an abnormal amount of resource pods, or because I feel like I'm getting pretty lucky here?
I think you got a bit more than normal at the very beginning.
Yeah, I like it. This is good.
But it's not out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Like part of what Will was saying is that the sort of overall density of things to explore is much higher, and that's mostly a function of the fact that the oceans are fully realized terrain.
Yeah.
So there's every bit as much power to be found at sea as there is on land, which basically, on normal circumstances, it doubles the amount of stuff there is. No, the resource pods and artifact size aren't actually doubled. They're just there are more.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're gonna find the game's just much richer with more things to go out and grab. Now that you can find as much at sea as you can find on land.
So I should probably be bracing for this colonist unit, shouldn't I? Here, since I still need one more virtue before I get this bonus here. But you think I should grab
the outpost one?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Okay, let's do it. We'll wait one more turn. Then I can grab this colonist unit, and then I can dip more into possibly knowledge. I can grab 2 different things here. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I guess. I guess it all depends.
If research ends up being faster, it might even be faster just to research pioneering and build a colony.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is pretty true. Okay, I guess we'll get a recycler because it's only gonna take 1 turn for extra production. I like that.
First affinity style choice.
So okay, here I've got a good question for you. Favorite new affinity. Now that there are these 6 new, there's 6 affinities. There's 3 new ones. What's your favorite of them all? You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
And that might be a hard choice because I get it's a tough one.
It's so much a question of style. I play the game pretty I don't know how you would call it, pretty mercenary, where I really go for whatever makes sense for the planet I'm on.
Yeah, okay.
But given an even keel, I tend to prefer purity. I think they're the most sort of fictionally evocative. Like they're kind of crazy. And I And
you enjoy the crazy ones.
I do.
Okay.
I think their hybrids are also a lot of fun too. The Purity Supremacy hybrid has, I think, the coolest aesthetic. The one I prefer the best.
Okay, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Purity,
kind of gleaming white,
Supremacy. Okay.
doll looking.
I think that's my favorite too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, and their unique units are fun. They're not the wildest, but they're reliable. And so, given the opportunity, I tend to hybridize that way.
Will, what about you?
I would say the same thing, actually.
Okay.
Those units are they look so cool. They're like, if John Ives designed a hybrid unit, like that's
very
what they
cool.
look like.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite just in terms of strategy?
Actually, I think the Supremacy Harmony units have the most interesting tactics because they tend to be the wildest. Like they have a unit called the Nano Hive, which is an invisible unit that deploys an area of effect damage. So you move them around like invisible living landmines. You can just pepper up the landscape and cut apart an army without them ever knowing.
Yeah.
They have the Aquilon, which is a semi-alive cybernetic. Cyborg air carrier, which is really fun.
It looks gross.
It looks gross.
Wow.
And building like a battle group, a strike group around hovering units, and with a hover carrier in the middle is an extremely powerful. Like it reminds me of the Protoss carriers from StarCraft, where they're not fast, they're not tough, but you get enough of them, and they just like erase anything that comes near them.
I'm sure.
So like having a bunch of Aquilons loaded up with aircraft and slowly trundling across the planet and just wiping out everything in front of you is a lot of fun. So their tactics tend to be the most splashiest, the most spectacular.
Okay, very cool. That's one thing that I've noticed. There's so many new possibilities of just different, like the war, like just the whole just leashing mechanic itself is just insane. I started putting that together in my head. Like you can just build your entire army through leashing, and you don't have to pay for maintenance for those units, right?
No.
So I mean, you can.
There are some drawbacks. I mean, aliens tend to be outclassed later in the game.
Oh yeah.
The really powerful guns of higher units. So.
But initially that would be a good.
And certainly in the mid game, they could be a real problem. Like even if you're not doing it seriously as an invasion force, but just as a harassment force, they're hugely powerful, especially at sea. The nautical aliens are really fast and pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really good way to sort of like slow down your enemies' aquatic city movement, slow down their development. The naval aliens can really cut them up. And then late in the game, you can get the ability to leash the Colossals, which really changes things again.
Oh yes.
So like, if you can get a few Kraken under your control, that's a whole different story, and that can be really satisfying.
I think I played Beyond Earth a little bit back up north, and I think on my third playthrough, so I think it was Sea Dragons. Are they still not technically colossal?
No, they're not.
They're not.
So I love that because I think a Sea Dragon was it's kind of in the middle, right? It's kind of in the middle, and it was in the red already. It had just passed by and right in front, and I was like, all right, boom, and I leashed it, and it was probably one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I was wondering, I can't remember. I think I was talking to Andrew, and he was saying that they were considering. You guys are maybe considering making them as a colossal, but I'm glad that you didn't. Because
we picked the Makara instead.
Yeah. Okay.
We just took the Makara and scaled it up. So it's as big as a tile.
Yeah. There you go.
And that became the new aquatic colossal unit, because the Kraken was from the base game.
Yeah.
But all of the aliens have gotten a new aesthetic treatment, so they all have skins now that match the biomes, and they even have some slightly different stats and behavior per biome as well. So
that's awesome.
Playing them on one may not be the same as on the other.
That's really cool. So I've done a pretty good job so far, I think, exploring a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe to you guys, I'm maybe.
Well, we're talking a lot, and not playing that fast. So it seems fine.
Yeah, I think so. Now I made a mistake here. I accidentally got myself pretty much locked down. I made a huge mistake. I guess we're gonna build a farm because we don't really have any other choice. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Hydrocoral brain.
So can you guys remind me how do I activate this quest? It's already activated, right?
So what you've run into here is a marvel.
Okay.
These giant structures that are on the map, and the hydrocoral brain is one of the marvels. And once one person on the map finds it, it's revealed to everyone.
Oh really? Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. Okay.
And the quest is started for everyone.
Okay.
And so it's kind of a race to find all of the little brains and complete the quest. All players can complete it, but if you can get the benefits before everybody else, you have a leg up.
Yep, that's right. I remember that. You want to be as fast as possible with this one. So this one is going to require me to go after the smaller brains, right? I think that's the way I remember it.
All of the Marvel quests work the same way. You find the big one, and you go find all the little ones, and you complete it, yeah.
And I've already got that quest in my list.
It's been started, and I believe that the reward for the hydrocoral brain quest is to be able to get visibility around all hydrocoral on the map.
Oh, that's cool. That is really nice. Okay. I accidentally failed a mission. I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm sorry. Yeah. I totally was not expecting that. Whoops. Yeah, there we go.
I would actually try to find another leader. There have been several that have landed, but they haven't contacted you.
Yep. I think there's one here.
One here. So if you just walk up the coast there,
there we go. Very cool.
You'll be able to contact a leader for the first time.
I love that we don't know who it is. I really like that. Yeah. I like that I don't know exactly. Ooh, I might kind of grab that real quick while I pass through. And I guess we'll look for these. Are they? So these are brains, right? They're hydrocoral. Technically, what's the term for them?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Something.
There's something.
They're the hydrocoral, like you see the big brain, and then there are these small sort of node brains all over the place, and they work in concert to control the hydrocoral.
Okay, so we found Pan-Asian Cooperative.
Yep.
And we can kind of explore can we explore? Yeah, we can.
Yeah. So
Let's explore a little bit.
okay. So if you open up the diplomacy screen now, or you can click the city banner and talk to her that way. So there are a couple of things that you'll notice here. The first is, I guess. Well, I mean, we can take this one piece at a time, but we're looking at the fear and respect here. So all AI players in the game have a fear and respect number relative to every other player.
Yep.
And
I really like that.
So this is your window into their behavior. So if they fear you a whole lot, or if they respect you a whole lot, you can get them to do what you want, basically.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted to, for example, change the relationship that you have to cooperative or to allied, you would have to meet either the fear or the respect requirement for that particular change.
And it's specific to that leader, right?
That's right.
I like that. Yeah, that's cool. So like the African Union likes food. If we have good food growth, then
that leader will respect you more. And actually, that depends on their traits.
Oh, okay.
So each leader has a collection of up to 4 traits, character traits.
See that.
And
Very
they
nice.
get them over the course of the game by spending political capital.
And we get that too,
we
right?
get that too, yeah. And those traits give you big civilization-wide buffs and also provide other leaders with agreements that they can make with you.
Okay.
So these 2 agreements, Public Works and National Land Management, come from
her trait.
Dao Ming's character trait.
Oh,
right? And
cool.
as she adds more traits, there will be more agreements open to you.
And this is the one she initially gets. She always gets this
always
trait,
gets that
and
one.
then she's going to choose 4 more, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So that's how we get to choose the option here. This is the type of deals we get to make.
Yes, and those depend on her traits. So let's take a look at us, actually.
Yeah.
We can see.
I know. I was going to say that. There. It looks so good. I think Halloween is coming up. This is what I might do.
Yes, exactly. Makes a great cosplay. So if you go to manage my personality traits over there on the right, you can see yours.
Yeah.
So you can see that you get a significant discount making agreements with other leaders. And if you click on agreements there, you can see that these are the 2 agreements other leaders can make with you.
Oh, very cool.
And when they make those agreements with you, you get diplomatic capital every turn.
And they get this, right?
And
they get war score increased by percentage. Wow.
Exactly.
That is very cool.
And when you make these agreements, they will get better as your relationship with that leader improves. So if you're neutral, you get the first level.
Really?
If you're cooperative, you get
okay.
the second level. If you're allied, you get the third level. So they always get better. So if you mouse over one of these guys, you can actually see when we're allied, we get this. When we're cooperating, we get this.
25% war score. Dang.
So
I love it.
Huge. It's
I
huge,
love it.
Right.
Dang.
So if you click on any of these add personality traits, you can see all of the options
there's a lot.
that are available to you.
Oh yeah, there is a lot. Okay. My next question for both you guys is favorite trait, like favorite trait in. Let's just go military. I mean, what do you like military trait wise, both you guys?
Oh well, let's see.
I mean,
I really like. I think the covert ops traits are quite good.
Oh yeah. Those
Covert ops is one of those systems that can really. I mean, it's covert, right? You can sneak up on somebody and take their cities or whatever.
Suspicious.
Suspicious is a good one. That gives you. Let's see. Covert ops agents require 1 fewer successful operations to rank up, so they rank up much more easily. There's a covert ops trait for each of the categories, for each of the 3 categories.
Very cool.
So they're different ones depending on which category you're talking about. But what's cool about the traits system is that we were talking earlier about problems you have to solve. I have this deficit, or I want to excel in this area. I can go here and I can solve those problems. So if we're lacking in energy, if we're lacking in health,
we can go after.
We can go after that in the diplomacy.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That's really cool. That's right. I'm sorry, I forgot, David. You're a very kind of depends. It depends on the situation, right? Situational.
Yeah,
here.
I tend to be though. I like the ones that get one part of the game that you're doing well to work for a different part. So in the military, there was the precise trait, which gives you science for every kill you make.
Oh, that's awesome!
Yeah, so
wow,
you can
Where was that? Precise. There it is.
Yeah,
very cool. Wow, so you can eventually get to gain 12 science
for every kill. Right.
Per
so even if you're not fighting a war against another human civilization,
you get that from aliens too.
Aliens are kills.
Oh man, that's awesome.
You can, if you're gunning up for some sort of campaign, finding a way to get that trait on you can make the campaign power you the research that's going to drive the next campaign. So
that is amazing.
So I like that a lot.
Okay, I might try really quick to slap down a city, but I love the new diplomacy. Like, it's so good. It just seems like there's so much like replayability from that. Almost like a limited amount of different directions you can kind of go in. Let me think if am I close to a virtue here? 4 turns. Oh no! Yep. I look at that button all the time and I'm like, oh, I should click that, and because it looks just so nice. I should definitely as my faction here, I should probably always kind of boost for as much diplomatic capital. You would.
Yeah,
that's what you're
going to want. And as you add traits, other civs will be able to buy more agreements from you.
Oh, very cool.
So it helps to have those anyway.
That's cool. We should probably send this guy back here.
Yeah, he's going to need another module.
Yep, I almost forgot it too. Oops. Oh, and then we can go back now. Very nice. Perfect timing. Okay. Oh, that's right. I built a submarine. I should probably just kill aliens, but then no, because that would probably end this faster than I wanted it to end.
And then you'll really, in that tight of a little strait down there, you're not really going to benefit from the
invisibility. I'm gonna get pretty messed up. That's right. I do. Yeah, I forgot about the whole submarine invisibility. Oh, we're getting tags. Fantastic. So the aliens won't attack my workers,
or no, they will
if they get mad enough.
Yeah, they get mad enough. So the aliens they're going to prefer to fight military targets, things that are threatening. They can perceive that the worker isn't threatening, so they will be less inclined to take it out.
I will set him to automation, so we can zoom on by and slap something down. The only thing is, there's really not. I mean, sea tile wise, where would you find a new city?
One of the neat things about like founding a sea city is like you have to plan its route. Basically, you have to sort of explore the territory and figure out where it's going to move after you've placed it, because you move the city around to get new territory. And when you move the city, it actually anything that's underneath it gets destroyed.
Yeah.
If you build
an
improvement, it'll plow over the improvement. So you really have to be careful about the path that your city takes as it's gobbling up those resources. So, like, putting it in this alcove here, you've got some options, but
I would destroy these.
You might not have a place to go once you've gotten the first couple things there. So
that's a good point. And I remember someone was letting me know, like, for the sea cities, you can kind of, I mean, it's hard, but you can kind of use them for battle to kind of approach a front and use the bombardment from that city. That is really cool.
It's easier to do than you might think. I mean, under the right circumstances. You really got to know you're going to do that when you build a city.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to drive a big city around.
Yeah.
So, I've seen players play where they have like a core of 3 or 4 cities that are, they're civilization, they're mainstays. Mm-hmm. And then they build 1 or maybe 2 who are never really going to grow that big. Like, they're not going to build lots of buildings. They're just going to get the defensive ones. And they're going to get production buildings. And then they're going to that city's going to maintain sort of quick speed of movement and sort of act as kind of like a supporting army, to follow up to your main army, a place for them to fall back to when they're going to need to heal, and a place to keep them safe while they're healing from like enemy navies. And then eventually you can get that right on the doorstep of another civ if your campaign, if your war lasts that long.
Oh yeah,
but it is viable.
That's cool. I really want to try that. So you would suggest maybe settling?
I mean, that's a spot.
That is it.
Because I mean, you can drive up in here. You can go out further. Now you can't drive in the deep water. But it's telling you like maybe down here would be a good place. So wherever you see a good spot there.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea that I didn't go for like this kind of Gulf region. There's filled with aliens and.
It's about to be filled with hydrocoral.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. So I'm glad that I decided against that. And I have my military. So there's your advisors will give you little notifications right there. What are those? You guys have a term for
communicate.
That? Yeah,
communicate. They're like text messages.
I like that. Yes.
Your advisors. I mean, look. We wanted to model how actual diplomacy works nowadays, and it's basically all Twitter. Right?
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. I like that.
So they'll chirp at you every once in a while, and your advisor will too. It's just one more like. Whenever we add a new system, we have to be very careful about notifications. The game is very notification heavy, and we added this separate channel for lighter weight reminders and communications, and a way for the other leaders to express themselves.
Oh, very cool.
Being in the diplomacy system, and each leader has a pretty deep catalog of things that they'll say to you based on what you're doing and how they like you and all that, and it gives you a good idea of their respect for you, because each time one of those communiques goes up, that indicates an increase or decrease in respect.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That's very cool. I didn't. Too bad I didn't get to. I only met the Pan Asian Cooperative, but
I don't think she said anything to you. Dao Ming has not been paying attention.
Yeah, no, yeah,
she doesn't really.
She doesn't care. She doesn't. Yeah, she does not care at all. I mean, I'm probably pretty far behind. I'm assuming most, or I'm getting caught up. I guess I should say since I started first.
Yeah, you're doing okay. You're
all
right.
I guess I could. I keep throwing down. Oh, did I mess up? Oh, I messed up, didn't I?
No, it's just that's a coral resource.
Whoops.
Much better off building the.
Let me stop that.
The bed.
Okay, let me do that. Sometimes I get just farm crazy, and I'm just throwing down farms.
You're
everywhere.
actually doing a really good job playing this game and talking about it at the same time. this is a skill. I'm telling you, it's hard to do.
I'm just gonna throw that out to luck. I've just scrolled over and like, oh yeah, that's right. I needed to get health, or I needed to get whatever it might be. I guess let's just do one last check in on the diplomacy because I really enjoyed so much. So right now, so you guys shifted. I didn't realize that. So it's up to 9 now.
Well, that's 5 of 9.
5 of 9. Yeah.
Right,
so I mean, like the top.
You may have had a different build where the granularity is lower. The granularity is like 0 to 9.
Okay. Very cool. I like that. that.
You have a lot more. Well, when we decided to change. We decided for different civs to have different thresholds. We needed more numbers. So we added more numbers. To the
okay, very cool.
But if you go to change relationship, for example, in order for her to be cooperative with you, which if you mouse over that, you can see it has some effects. So all new agreements are better. Let's see, factions can trade basic yield. So trade is gated on your relationship, so you can't trade if you're neutral. You have to be cooperating before trade will kick in. Factions share open borders, so if you want open borders, you have to do this. But it has a requirement of either 5 fear or 5 respect. So you have to pay 20 diplomatic capital, so there's capital cost as well.
So and the fear is pretty simple to understand from my knowledge. You just build military units,
military,
right?
And it's covert ops, and there are a couple of things, but basically how effective you are at war.
And this is also for her benefit too. It makes sense that it's also for her benefit to have an ally or cooperative agreements.
So you could with the military. Once, and this is another thing about the transparency here, that she meets these requirements. So the AI will always accept.
Really?
That's
cool.
There's no non-determinism there, but if she's afraid of you, if she's very afraid of you, she may backstab you.
Really?
You don't have any warning about that.
Really? So so if you build
afraid,
your relationship
on fear,
really?
That can lead to backstabbing. Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Dang. So that is very cool. Very complicated. Well, I cannot wait to play it. I cannot wait till it gets to late game. I've been telling everyone, like, I really think that late game is going to be so much fun to have all these different leaders to talk to and all these different relationships. It just seems like, I don't know. I can't wait. And I can't wait to see these, like, the aesthetics that you were talking about. You said purity, harmony?
Purity supremacy.
Supremacy that has these
cool. All of them are really cool.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They're all awesome.
I'm like an aesthetic sort of guy, so like maybe the strategy might not be the best, but if it looks cool, then I probably might go for that a little bit too often.
They're all powerful, so it's not like you're going to go wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Drew.